Everyone. In the last lecture, we have discussed about the working mechanism of for loop. In this lecture, I'm going to discuss about working mechanism of while loop as well as do while loop. There are some similarities in while and do while, but there are some uh, point is there when do while will be preferred. Some kind of problem. Do while will be preferred over while loop. Okay, so let's see how while loop is working, what are the syntax over there, and what are the different things we should take care while working with the while loop. And the very next part, we're going to see about the do while loop as well. Okay, so let's first see the syntax of while loop, how it is look like. So here I'm writing the syntax. Okay, at first, if you remember the for loop, okay, if I write the for loop syntax here, it is started with like this. Initialization, then condition, and then update. This was the syntax of for loop. But parallel to that, if I write the while loop, look at how it is look like. While loop initialization will be totally outside of the while loop. Initialization is totally outside. And then while will be started. And here you're going to put the condition. And inside the body, we'll write the last statement of the while loop, or based on the condition given in certain program, we'll do the updation as well. So this is what, this is our body of loop. Similarly, for loop also has a body. Yes. So this is the two syntax, two types of loops that I have put over together so that we can perform the comparison. Okay, so let's start the comparison here. Okay. See, in the for loop, initialization is part of the loop. Yes, we have seen already initialization can be placed outside of the for loop as well. But here in the while loop, initialization is always with the outside. That means before start the writing the body of the while loop or the condition for the while loop, we need to perform the initialization of what? Initialization for loop control variable. I hope you remember loop control variable. Okay. Based on whose value the loop will be controlled, that how many times it is executed and how much time left that loop need to be continued. Okay, so now let's see next part. But the condition for the while loop should be checked first while entering to the body of the loop. Correct. Whenever program control will enter to the body of the loop, it will first check the condition, the given condition with the help of loop control variable. Is it true or false? If that particular condition is true, then the loop control will be entered. So this is the reason we also call this while loop as a entry control loop. Okay, what we called while loop? While loop we also called entry controlled loop. Okay, means while entering inside the body of the loop, that time condition will be checked. If condition is true, program control during the execution will enter inside the body. At last, once the complete body get executed, at the very last step, updation statement will be evaluated. Earlier we found that in the for loop, updation is written here, but we have also seen when the loop control is trying to going up, the last statement updation is evaluated by the compiler, even though it is put over here. But now, see the updation, here I have written inside the body, but should be the last statement of the body. Okay, so that means while loop control will going up, this updation will be executed and the loop control variable either decrease or either increase, and then again condition will be evaluated. Okay, till the condition is true, this loop will going to be executed. So again, here it is. If you miss the condition, there might be some scenario. Okay, so let's see in detail of the while loop, the implementation of the while loop one by one. So now let's remove the for loop. Let's keep the while loop only in this file. Okay, so let's see. Start the main method. Oh, main method is already there. So let's try to do the simple things only. Let's try to print a line 5 times. Okay, so inside the while loop. So let's first put the line printf inside the while. What happened? Inside the while. Okay, and let's use a backslash n. So now I want to print this particular line 5 times. So we all know what we need. We need a loop control variable. So let's put the loop control variable here. Okay, so we can initialize it to 1 as well. Now put a condition. Condition is how many times that you want to execute that particular body of the loop. This will be the condition, correct? So you want to execute it 5 times. So the value of I should be less than equal to 5. So then 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5 is 5 times. And then the last statement is what? The last statement should be the condition, sorry, updation. So let's perform the updation here. Okay, run this code. Here you can see this line has printed 5 times. Okay, in the console. Okay, let's proceed to the next part. Okay, if I miss the updation, what will happen? It will be infinite. The updation is missing now. Run this code again. Now see, it is printing. It will be infinite. So we cannot miss the updation. We need to perform the updation. Okay, stop this. Now let's move to the next part. So let's make the updation on. Okay. So now can we make this miss this condition? So let's leave it the condition here, and now let's see what is happening. Run. See the error here. In for loop we can write without the condition, so the condition will be true in for loop. But here, if you look at carefully, when I miss this condition, compiler give me an error that it expected some kind of expression over here inside this parenthesis. So here expression, definitely what we're going to put some condition. Okay, so let's see how to give the put the condition back again in the loop. Okay, done. Fine. So now can we run this loop in reverse order? We can do this loop in reverse order as well. Initialize the loop control variable to 5, and now change the condition. Condition should be greater than equal to 1. And here, instead of updation, we can instead of incrementing, we can decrement the value. So here, loop control variable will come in the reverse direction. Okay, will come into the reverse direction. How it is? Let me discuss it here. See, your loop control variable value I is equal to 5. It is here. Okay. Now look at the condition. Condition is saying that it should be equal to or greater than 1. Correct? Equal to and greater than 1. So if I did not use here I minus minus, what will happen? If I apply I plus plus, it will go in this direction. I becomes 6, then 7, then 8, then it will continue till the infinite of the range of integer. Correct? So it will be become infinite. So only one way it can be controlled if I go in this direction, and if I stop when I reach the value of I as 1. So how can I reach? So I is right now 5, I need to 4, then 3, then 2, and then 1. So this is what? This is decrement. How? The present value is 5 and the next value I want 4. What is the difference between them? 4 minus 5, it is minus 1. So that is, it should be decremented. Okay, so now let's proceed. This one also, and execute this. Now see, we get the output 5 times. There is no more issue. Okay. Now let's see next part of the while loop. Can we make a while loop infinite? Can we make a while loop infinite? Yes, it is also possible. We called it while true loop. Okay, so here it is. Just place 1, so it will be infinite. It is earlier, if you saw that when I miss this condition and I execute this code, it shows me that what we need some, yes, here is, you can see, we need some expression is missing, correct? So now that means, according to the compiler, we cannot miss the expression in the while loop, cannot miss. So let's put an expression and I want it should be infinite. So what we can do, we can place 1. So remember in C programming, 1, a positive value and any negative value will be considered as a true value. Condition will be true. So here, while 1 in programming sense, we are using it as an infinite loop. So it will be a continuation of the loop, infinite loop. Okay. So now question is that if it is infinite, then when to stop? So if you remember in the for loop, we have discussed one point. We can use the statements like break and continue, because 1 means it is infinite. So if I now execute this, see what will happen. Executing the loop infinite number of times. Got it? Next. So instead of doing this, what we can do, we need to use a break statement inside the body of while loop, so that after printing the value of that particular, after printing that line 5 times, the loop control is break out from the loop. Okay. So what we can do, we need to use some condition inside the loop here using if and else statement. Okay, so let us try. Let's go to the body. So when the value of I become 0, we need to break out. Correct? We need to break out. So if I greater than 0, it should print this line. Okay. And then it also need to be performed I minus minus. You can put the I minus minus outside of all, there is no issue. And when it is equal to 0, you can do break. So opposite thing also you can write. See, instead of using here like that, else if I say else I greater than 0, when I become equal to 0 or equal to 0, it will be break. See, if I run this code, now see how many times it get printed, 5 times. Got it? 5 times. So now see what I have done here. If you look at carefully the code, I make this while loop infinite by making it while true loop. Why it is called while true loop? Because this value 1 that you put in part of the expression, or as part of the condition, or as part of the expression, you can say expression, 1 will be treated as a true value by the compiler. So each and every time it will be remain as true. At first the value of I is equal to 5. So there is no condition. 5 greater than 0, yes, line printed. Then again I minus minus. If it is true, else will not execute I minus minus. So I become 4. Got it? I become 4. So now next what will happen? Once I become 4, it will go up again. So there is no condition, just 1 means true. 4 greater than 0, yes, it will be printed. Then so else will not execute it. I minus minus, I become 3. Printed. Else not executed, I minus minus is become 2. Printed. Else not executed, I minus minus is become 1. 1 greater than 0, yes, printed. Else not executed, I minus minus, now I is going up with 0. So now 0 greater than 0, so this condition is remain true. 0 greater than 0 is false, so if is not executed, now else is get executed, else break, then it come outside from the body of while loop. Here we are using if and else statement to implement the break statement. Okay, here we put the printf statement inside the if. So if will execute when it is true. We can also do the opposite one. Without putting this printf statement inside the body of if, this printf statement we can put outside of the if, and we can place the break statement inside the if. Let me show you. So now what I'm doing, I'm shifting this printf statement outside of this if. Now we don't require the else. See what will happen. Without else also you can implement it. Break. Okay, earlier if is working for printing the line. Now if will work for breakout from the loop. Okay, I think this is far better than the earlier one. Earlier one we are writing that else state body also. Now else is not required. Condition is changed. Okay, so run this and check is it working or not. No. Okay, see what happened. Sorry, the condition instead of I greater than 0, the condition is wrong here. Condition I greater than 0. So I is 5 now. So 5 greater than 0, break has been done. Okay, so instead of I greater than 0, what I need to do? I equal to 0. Okay, or we can also write if I less than 1. This thing is also we can write. Now run. Now see, 5 times get printed. Okay, so now this, how this break statement will work? Now break statement, see, previously we have implemented with the help of else. Correct. Now see, value of I is 5 initially, so we are not going to check any condition with while. 5 get less than 1, false. So execute these two lines. Due to minus is 4, so till it is 1, it's going to be print here. 1 less than 1, false. If not executed, print up this line for the very last time. And I minus, I become 0 for this minus. So now again 0 less than 1, it is true, break out from the loop. So break means break out from the loop. Got it? So here we see that we can also use break statement with the while loop as well. Okay, so now let's proceed. Can we use a semicolon after while? Let us check. Yes, I put the semicolon. Correct? Now run this code. Okay, so we know that break statement is only possible within the loop. Okay, see it is written here. You can check the error within the loop or switch. So here, after placing the semicolon, what happened? Let us go back. Yes, here we have done what? We have placed a semicolon, see, after the while. So now this is the loop only. The curly blocks that we have written, it is not considered anymore as part of the loop because semicolon is placed. Okay, so now if I remove this break, see what will happen now. I am removing the break from here. This error has been gone now. This was the error earlier, correct? Break should be within loop or switch. Now there is no loop, no break. So now let's try to run this code, see what is happening. See, what condition you have used? You have used while 1. While 1 means it is infinite. So it is executing only this particular line only. Only this particular line. While 1, while 1, while 1. It is no condition is there to break out from the loop. So that's why it is happening. Okay, so let's put some condition. But if I put some condition, how to change the value of that particular loop control variable? Because updation I cannot put in the while. Updation should be right inside the body. So no way. Placing a semicolon, it becomes the loop infinite. Placing a semicolon after the while, it plays the loop infinite. Okay. Here we can also use a continuous statement. Let's see a problem. Now let's see an example where we can use a continuous statement within the while loop as well. Okay, continuous statement within the while loop as well. So let's take a large number. Instead of I equal to 5, let's make it 20. Okay, and let's make it while true. There is no more condition for the while. Correct. And now see what I am doing. If I modulus 5, or we can say I modulus 2. Okay, I modulus 2 equal to 0. Then I am writing continue. But when to break out? When to break out? So to break out, here you can put a condition. Else, no, make it a condition. If, okay, if I equal to 0, break. Okay, what this code will do? Make it a small value. It will be take more time to discuss. Yeah. So I started from 0. Correct. So let us discuss this. Here, I started from 10. Correct. The initial value of I is 10. While one condition is always true. This if will be true only if that particular number, which number? The loop control variable value is divisible by 2 and there is no more remainder. Okay, there is no remainder. Here you can check. Now the value of I is 10. So what will happen? You are evaluating 10 modulus 2 equal to 0. This is the expression that we have written here. So 10 modulus 2, remainder is 0. So 0 equal to 0, it is 0. So that means whenever the value of I is an even number, or remainder will be 0 and this condition is true. So when this condition is true, what will happen here? What will happen? Let me show you what will happen. Continue statement going to be executed. We know continue means what? Continue with the loop. Earlier updation was written here. Earlier updation is part of the for loop. If you remember the syntax of for, updation is here. So it's perform the updation as well, and then it is continue. Now updation is not here. Updation is here. Okay, so run on once this code and see what is happening. Run. See, infinite. Why? Because earlier in case of the for loop, updation is also executed. While continue statement get executed, loop will continue. Before continue, updation is executed. But right now, what is the problem? Because the nature of while loop, we put the updation as the very last statement. So when this line get true, because of this continue, it is continue with the loop. It is not reaching here. It is not reaching here. So what we need to do? We need to place this I here before continue. Okay, so let's do this. I minus. So before continue, I will be decremented. Now, next question is that, sir, next question is that we have put here, okay, we have already put one I minus within the body of if. Correct, within the body of if. So is this I minus required to reducing the value of I to meet this condition I equal to 0? Yes. Why? Because see, why? This I minus will only executed if this condition is true, when it is even number. When after this first minus I become 9, this condition will be false, then this minus will not executed. If I remove this I from here, I minus updation I remove from here, then I remain as 999 always. So here it is, we can check this. Put this thing in comment, run this. See what happened. It is always 99999. So that's why loop is infinite. Stop. We can check it with printing the value of I here also. Yes. Now run. Now see, it's always 999. Okay. So we need to place the updation here as well. Let's remove this. Now run this code. It is going to the beyond the range. It is going beyond the range. Let us stop. It is coming from 10. Okay, let us first check what is happening here. It is coming from 10. Okay, so I modulus 2 equal to 0. Yes, I modulus 2 equal to 0. I minus, so I become 9. 9 equal to continue, so it's continue again 9. I 9 modulus 2 equal to 0. No. 9 equal to 0. No. Printf this, it will print first 9. 8. Okay, see what happened. See the condition what happened. At some point of time, I will be become 0 definitely due to this minus. And this minus as well. When I is 1, it's printing this line. Due to this minus, it's become 0. So it is go up. So what we are doing, 0 modulus 2 equal to 0. So 0 modulus 2 equal to 0, 0 equal to 0. It is true. I minus, so it's become minus 1. So that means this condition is not reached by the compiler to break out from the loop. So instead of writing I equal to 0, what you can put here, if I less than 1, immediately break. Less than 1. Now run this. Now see. Only the even number odd number get printed. Why? Because we know how continuous works. Those students have not seen how continuous works. Watch my previous one related to the for loop. Okay, so when it is even, this line condition is true. It is minus minus continue. It will go up. So no compiler will not reach this other statement because of this continue. This statement remains unreachable when this value of I is even. When it is odd due to this minus minus, then these lines are reachable, because when it is odd, this particular block is become false. This particular condition is false. So continue means continue with the loop. That means it will ignore any other statement that you have right after the if block or after the continue statement. Okay, so I hope you understand this. Correct? Okay, thank you very much. We'll see with the another video with the do while loop, working mechanism of do while loop. Okay, have a nice day, bye then. And do not forget to subscribe this channel. If you subscribe, the benefit is that you will get the notification once a new video get uploaded.